and welcome to Brian Brain's National Curriculum. This is the quiz that the entire family can take part in, enjoy, and hopefully learn something from. Okay, here we go. My name is Brian Brain, and if you haven't played before, don't worry, you'll soon get the hang of it. You might even want to create a prize for the winner or the winners if you decide to play as a team. Let's see if you younger budding brains can beat the adults, the boffs. You see, for every budding brain question for you kids, there's a harder boff question for the adults that'll follow. So, doesn't matter what your age is, everybody has an equal chance. The most important thing though is just to have some fun and build that brain power of yours. Because did you know that your brain works like your muscles? The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So, today's subject is Year 6 Mixed Science Topics. For each question you get right, award yourselves a point. It's as simple as that. Don't forget to keep score as you go along, so you might want to get a pen and some paper before you start. Here's a bit of getting ready time. Question number 1 for you budding brains. What are the large diameter blood vessels that pump blood from the heart to parts of the body called? Here is your thinking time and I will repeat the question. What do you call the large diameter blood vessels that pump blood from the heart to various parts of the body? Time's up. Did you get it? The answer is arteries. Arteries. The largest artery in the body is the aorta. This is the main artery that's attached to the heart. But did you know that blood delivers important substances to our cells, as well as removing unwanted waste products? There you go. Boffs, what are the smallest blood vessels that can be found all over the body called? Thinking time starts now. What do you call the smallest blood vessels that can be found in the body? And your time's up. The answer is capillaries. Capillaries. Now, did you know that together with the veins and arteries, the average human circulatory system, if laid out end to end, could stretch about 60,000 miles, 100,000 kilometres. That is amazing. So some blood cells have travelled farther than most people. Budding Brains question number 2. Name 2 ways in which a polar bear is adapted to its polar environment. Tricky sort of wording, but have a think and I will repeat. Name 2 ways in which a polar bear is adapted to its environment, has changed itself, if you like. Well, time's up. Now, you could have named any 2 things from the following. They've developed white fur for camouflage. They have a thick layer of fat to keep warm. They've got a strong sense of smell to sniff out prey buried in the snow. They're strong swimmers. Their hairs are hollow, which traps heat from their body to keep them warm and makes them more buoyant when they swim. Well, there you go. Clever things, old polar bears. Now, talking about polar bears, did you know that mostly they feed on ringed seals and bearded seals? though occasionally they eat walrus, beluga whale and bowhead whale carcasses, birds' eggs and rarely vegetation. So if it walks on snow, it's basically polar bear meat. Boffs, name 2 ways in which a camel is adapted to its environment. Thinking time now. Name 2 ways in which a camel is or has adapted to its environment. Well, time's up. The answer is that they have humps to store fat in so that they can survive a long time without eating. They have long, thick eyelashes to keep sand from entering their eyes. They can close their nostrils to keep sand out, and they have powerful long legs so they can make long journeys across the desert. Okay, so now you know a camel's hump does not store water, it stores fat, lessening heat-trapping insulation. The name comes from Arabic, gemel, meaning beauty. Question number 3, Budding Brains. Describe to us how light allows us to see objects. Interesting question. Here's your thinking time. Describe how light allows us to see objects. And time's up. The answer is that the light bounces off the object and into our eyes, allowing us to see it. If there's no light bouncing off an object, then we can't see it. There you go. Boffs, why do shadows have basically the same shape as the thing that cast them? Why do shadows have basically the same shape of you or the object that cast them? The answer is because light travels in straight lines, so any light that hits an object is reflected or absorbed. No light can travel through or around the object, and so a shadow is formed. And here's a little thing about shadows. At noon, when the sun is overhead, there's little or no shadow at all. Long ago, people observed that and used this principle in making the world's earliest clock, a sundial. Budding Brains, in a circuit diagram, do you know what a bulb symbol looks like? So in a circuit diagram, what shape would a bulb symbol look like? Well, the answer is it's either a circle with a cross in it or a circle with a bulb shape in it. There you go. You will need to know and be able to remember some of the more common component symbols, so try and remember that one. Now, interestingly enough, about symbols used in a circuit diagram, they are totally international, worldwide, meaning that electricians and engineers from any country can understand them, whatever language they speak. Boffs, how is a switch represented in a circuit diagram? Thinking caps on now. How is a switch represented in a circuit diagram? And the answer is it's 2 dots or circles. The line between the circles can either connect the circles to show the switch is on, or it can be disconnected to show the switch is off. Budding Brains, explain the relationship between exercise and health.